Really like going on.
Brilliant.
Very
And
helpful.
then if you could just pop on mute, if possible. Excellent. All right, guys, sorry. Isn't that always the way? Hi, guys. It's so fantastic to see you all. Look, we've almost got 50 people, and I'm sure that by the time I finish speaking, I'm sure we're going to eclipse that. So it's really fantastic. Thank you for taking the time out this evening from wherever you are in the world to join us. I'm really excited for this call. So, for those that don't know me, which is a lot of people, my name is Erin O'Toole. I am 40. I have 3 young children who are downstairs promising that they're going to be good at bedtime so that mummy doesn't have to worry. Let's see how that goes. And I'm also a TV producer now at Sky News. So that's me in a headline. But I found the Juice Plus opportunity 5 years ago now, which is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe it's been 5 years. I was not looking for the opportunity. I had never heard about Juice, to be loud and proud, because I was sitting there at home having never heard about it. I hadn't heard the name. I hadn't heard that there was an opportunity to earn online. I didn't know anything about the industry. So what is it that she's doing? She looked like she was having fun. She seemed like she was really energetic. She seemed really inspired, which I really connected with. And I just reached out to her and I said, what is it that you do? Because you look like you're having more fun than I am. So I want to take you back 5 years. So on paper, I guess it looked like everything was sort of perfect in my life. I had just had my 3rd child. I was obviously working in the media, which was something that I'd wanted from the day I left school. I had started working in the media industry from the moment I left university. I had worked my way up in Tasmania to be on screen. I then made the decision to move to the UK to spend time with family and get international experience. I'd worked my way into one of the biggest newsrooms, ITV News, and I was working as a senior producer. So on paper, probably you wouldn't think that I would be looking for an opportunity like this, but the reality was I felt really lost. I had obviously my children. Every time I went back to work from maternity leave, I was having to do reduced hours because I had children. I couldn't take on news at 10 anymore. I was doing the lunchtime news. So I wasn't being given the big stories. I couldn't go on location. I couldn't have 3-month attachment in New York. You know, things that I would have been able to do before I had children just weren't being offered to me. And even if they were, I wasn't able to accept them. So I was feeling quite lost. Obviously, when you reduce your hours at work, what happens? You reduce your income. So even though my husband and I were both working up in the city and both earning decent money, we were struggling. You know, just the oyster fares to get into London every day and the £10 you spend on your sandwich and a drink, and then you buy a magazine for the tube on the way home, and, you know, your costs are huge. So even though I guess on paper we looked like we had it all together, we were definitely not as happy and as content as we could have been. And now I think looking back, I can really see that. So anyway, she told me that she had a franchise with Juice Plus. Of course, I'm a journalist. So I asked her all the questions, you know, and I wasn't trying to catch her out, to be honest, but I was curious. And my biggest one was, what happens if I don't like it? What happens? How much money are you going to take from me? Because I really thought this is too good to be true, that it's only £50 and I get most of that back from my own products. So I really did think, okay, this is great while it works, but what happens if I decide that this isn't for me? if I don't enjoy it. And when she explained that literally the only money that would not be given back to me was that £50, and that there was no other monthly fees that were taken out. There was no get out clause. I didn't have to buy lots of stock to then try and sell on. As soon as she said that, I just thought, why not? Like, why not? There was no risk. You know, the £50, I thought I wanted to buy the products. As soon as I saw information about the products, I was like, absolutely, who does not want to have more nutrition going into their bodies? Obviously, I was a mum with 3 children. I was breastfeeding at the time. So I loved the idea that they were natural, that there was nothing artificial. I was really over the diet culture. I had spent all of my youth as a dancer, you know, punishing my body. So I was over that. And I loved the fact that this was a healthy way to get back in shape after having the kids, to have more energy. So I loved the idea of the products. So I just said, why not? And I really went in with that attitude. So I would say if anyone's watching and they're thinking about taking the opportunity, have a bit of that attitude. You know, that £50 that you're going to spend in starting this, you're going to get most of that back in commissions from your own products. So really, you're not going to risk anything. And I thought, I'm sure I'm going to know 1 or 2 people that want to feel good as well. Of course I did. My mum was my first customer. We went halves on the premium capsules and the shakes. And she's still, 5 years later, she's on all of the products. She's currently in Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan and Georgia and Armenia. She's doing a big trip. She travels a lot, and she's got all of her capsules with her, because when she went home to Australia last time, she had run out, and obviously the order arrived here like a day after she had left. And at the time she thought, oh, I'll be fine. Well, her cholesterol went back through the roof. She developed an iron deficiency. So she was not taking any chances this time. She sent me a picture the other day from Georgia with all of her capsules lined up. And she was like, I'm not taking any chances. So for me, that was a wonderful benefit, that I can have my 77-year-old mother benefiting from our products. My children are on the chewables. So it's a whole family affair, really. So that's how I started. I never imagined that it was going to lead to what it has. I really had no idea that it would be as satisfying as it is, as like the personal development that I've had from this. I feel like I've got my spark back. My confidence has come back after having years of feeling like I wasn't quite good enough, you know, with the media industry and, you know, having children, you know, you feel like you're juggling everything and you're not really succeeding in anything. Through this opportunity, my confidence has come back up. I feel a bit like my old self again. And for me, that's priceless. I did not imagine that it was going to be so great financially as what it has. You know, in 2020, my husband was made redundant out of nowhere. He was put on gardening leave, so he wasn't allowed to work for 9 months, you know, and because of my Juice Plus business and my work at Sky, I started working at Sky freelance, he didn't have to touch his payout money. So that was where it really came in. You know, when you think at the time, you might not know why you need a plan B. I always believe that we should always have a plan B, because you just do not know what's around the corner. You really don't. So I was very, very grateful for my Juice Plus business, especially when my husband lost his job. It meant he didn't have to stress. He could take his time. He could find a position that he wanted. And that was a real blessing as well. So for me, I could talk for hours about the benefits. I could talk for hours about how much I love this opportunity and how grateful I am that I just thought, why not? I didn't overthink it. I thought, do you know what? I'm not investing loads of money. It's not going to damage my family's health or fortune. why not? So that's me in a nutshell. And I'm really excited for tonight's call. I'm excited to have a chat with some amazing people who are in the business. And I hope that we can do this more often, and that we can maybe speak to another group of people, you know, people on this call, you know, maybe we could do this more regularly, because I think the power of social media and of Zoom and technology is that we can connect and really get to know each other and know people that we wouldn't know if it hadn't been for this business. So that is me. Oh wow, we're up to 74 people. This is fantastic. I think this is a record. I'm going to stop waffling on now. Is John on yet? No, he's not. So I'm going to cross now to the wonderful James Sanderson. So James does not need any introductions for those who are in the company, but for those who are looking at this opportunity for the first time, James Sanderson is a position called Presidential Marketing Director, which in a nutshell means he's very incredibly successful in our company. He's done an amazing job with his business and helping loads of people around the world to improve their health and improve their finances. So James, without further ado, I would love to have a chat. If you could share your story, and then maybe I could ask you a few questions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hi, everyone. And it's such a pleasure to be here. I mean, I'm going to be quite brief, but believe it or not, I first saw this opportunity in 1987. So it's a long time ago. But I say that really because it just shows that the company is really absolutely rock solid. So I've known them, I've been involved with them. It took me a while to become involved. I got involved the following year, became a franchisee, partner franchisee with the company. And by 1993, I'd hit the top position in the company. So that was an extraordinary experience for me, particularly because when I first saw this, I thought, I just don't think I can do this. It was so different from anything I'd ever done before. I'd always been told I should never get involved in sales. When I looked at this, I thought, oh, it looks like a sales business. I'm never going to be able to do this, but I was totally captivated by the product at the time, the opportunity, the people, but more than anything was the freedom that this offered. You know, I couldn't quite believe it for myself, but I thought, look, it is working for other people. Maybe it has to work. And I found that it really, really has. So I just really want to encourage you that if you're looking at it and thinking, oh, I'm really not sure about this, stay with it and just keep concentrating on it and keep working it through, and you'll find that it's actually perfect for you in just the way it was perfect for me.
So James, yeah. I've got a few questions, if that's okay.
Of course.
Being a journalist, I love the questions.
Yes.
So I would like to know, when you first started, what was probably your biggest concern or reservation? Because obviously when people may be looking at this for the first time, they might be, you know, worried about things. What were you worried about when you decided to get started?
Well, I mean, apart from the fact that I, you know, obviously never done anything like this before, my number one concern was I didn't know enough people. How could I possibly build a network? It sounded as if you needed to know huge numbers of people. Now, I'm a pretty sociable person, but I certainly didn't feel that I knew anything like enough people. But then, of course, I realized and began to understand that it was all about talking to a few people who talk to people and talk to people. So I've actually now become totally addicted to that process of networking. Yeah, that was my number one concern, but it just evaporated.
And what would be one of the highlights that you've had so far? Because you've obviously been with the company for 35 years or 30.
I mean, I got to tell you that the highlight for me was when I hit the top position in the company, and we were running a training event, and there were probably about 400 people there, maybe 400, 500 people. And on that day, I was given a standing ovation.
Wow.
I mean, you know what? I mean, that was really, 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 really incredible. I mean, a lot of people achieve things in life and people say, oh, well done, pat on the back, maybe a salary increase or whatever, but to have a standing ovation from all of your peers, that was the most unbelievable experience.
What would you say has been, what do you feel makes Juice Plus stand out from all the other companies out there?
Well, the thing is that I have been thinking about this a lot over all the time, really, but particularly over the last couple of days, and I don't know why, but it's really to do with the culture. It's the culture. The original logo of the company was, the company used to be called NSA, National Safety Associates, and that's because we used to be in smoke detection. And in the logo is a love heart. And I always thought, oh, it's a bit, when I first saw it, but in actual fact, I realized that it was the core centerpiece of the business, that it sounds corny, but it is really founded on love. And as a result, the people tend to interact with each other on a totally different basis. It's like we're all one team, everybody's rooting for each other, nobody is hiding information from each other, all sharing all the time. And that is, for me, the best possible environment to be in terms of business. And it's the thing that attracted me more than anything.
I love that. I agree. It's like no other that I've ever experienced. It's like you've got the support of everyone behind you. You've got so many cheerleaders, which I absolutely love. And I think that because it's everyone's individual businesses, we don't have to compete against each other, unlike other areas in corporate life, isn't it? So we can really get behind our peers. And I think that makes it really special. So I agree. And finally, what would be your advice to somebody who from this call decides, I'm going to go for it? What would be your, maybe, you don't have to give just one, because I know you've got a lot of advice. So what would be your top advice to people?
Well, my advice really would be to determine what you would like to achieve from this business. Be very, very clear about it financially, and be clear about the amount of time that you feel that you can devote. Maybe if it's an hour a day, that's fine. A couple of hours a day, that's fine. And then just go for it. Just keep going. That's all I've done. I've just kept going. I've failed. You basically fail your way to the top. I couldn't put it any other better way. You always feel as if things aren't working out, but then you end up at the top. So it's a wonderful experience. But my number one advice is just to keep going through everything, the thick and the thin. Keep going.
I love that. And so often in life, don't we quit before we even really try, and the only time you fail is when you quit. So I think that's fantastic. And do you feel like there's a new energy in the air now? Obviously, we've got past the last couple of years. Do you feel excited for what's coming?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I tell you, the reason why I feel that is because we're all back able to meet again. So from my standpoint, and so I've just got to mute some people here. From my standpoint, I achieved vast success when I first got going by running live events. And I feel like we're back into that zone now. So we've got our big conference coming up next month in November, and we're back into live events. And live events is really where it's at. So obviously tonight is wonderful with this, what we're doing here, but the live events is the real energy. And so that's why I'm super excited, because once we get into the live events, everybody gets so much belief and excitement and a sense of purpose and possibility from what they see. And that just creates a fuel and a fire to develop people's businesses.
Absolutely. And everyone, I know we're a global business, and obviously this call is a global call, but we're going to be doing a lot of events in London. James and I are pushing forward with that. So I really do hope, maybe even if you're not based in London, maybe you could plan a little trip over to see us, and we can help you as well bring potentials from the area. And really connect as well. So that's really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to those live events that we've got coming up. We did an amazing one last month, and I think we've got the next 6 or 7 months planned out. So, please do reach out to whoever invited you on the call if you want those dates as well, because I'd love to see you guys there. So James, to wrap up your section.
Yes.
give me the best. Oh no, that's probably cheeky. We don't like to talk about money, do we? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. What would have been your number one experience or thing that you've bought or done thanks to Juice Plus?
Well, the number one thing was that when I first went to the conference in 1987, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, look, maybe I could have a Mercedes or a BMW or something from this business. And I thought, don't be ridiculous. You can't possibly think about that. You've never done anything like this before. But in 1993, I mean, it sounds so long ago, I know, and everybody's thinking, oh my God, you know, it's such a long time ago. But for me, this was really massive. And I was down at Porsche in Reading buying a brand new Porsche from this business. So that's my experience. That's what happened to me. And, you know, my old car was sat there and it looked like such a heap of junk. But I got in that car and I drove it home. And it was just an incredible experience. It's incredible.
Oh, that's amazing. I love hearing stories like that, because those moments, they really resonate, don't they? When you can almost feel that excitement of what it must have been like. Okay, James, thank you so much for your time. I mean, I could ask you a million questions, but I am conscious of the time. So thank you very much. And I can't wait to see you. So I am now going to bring on some girls who are in the business, who are different levels of the business, and they're going to share with us a little bit about why they love the products, but also how they're running their business, so that people who maybe haven't joined the team yet or who are starting out can really see that, you know, while it's amazing that we've got James, who's, you know, had such huge success, I know that when you're first starting, you might think, how am I even going to do this? So I'm going to now ask a few girls to come on and they can explain how they're doing this business. So Natasha, I am going to, if I can find you, because there's so many people on, I am just going to have to whiz through the screen until I can find you. Here you are. I'm going to ask you. Oh, yes, you're unmuted. Fantastic. Natasha, thanks for joining us. Natasha is coordinator with the business. Could you please tell us, just in a nutshell, why you love the products and how you are working your business?
Sure. So I actually first came across these products 8 years ago, and I had just had my daughter, usual scenario, somebody online, actually knew the person. She seemed to be really sort of excited and energetic. So I thought, yeah, you know, I'll give it a go. Loved the products, had a really good post-baby experience in terms of not just weight loss, but mental health. I have a 10-year age gap. My experience post-baby 10 years previous hadn't been anything like that positive. So I was, you know, a real fan of the products for that reason. My life wasn't that different, so it was definitely, you know, I was a real fan of the products, and having a biology background as well, I understood how they worked, so I wasn't kind of questioning why they were so good. I was one of those people that used to go into Boots and Holland and Barrett and like fill my basket full of supplements. I'd go to the doctor with my, you know, depression or anxiety, and I was always put on medication. Now, there's nothing wrong with medication, but it just never sat right with me. So this was really great. And the girl asked me to join the business. I did. I signed up, but I never really seen this.
Sorry. Natasha, I think I muted you by mistake.
You're grand, yeah, I saw that. Thank you. So yeah, so I wasn't really I never looked at it like, oh, you know, this was going to be a kind of a way of making loads of money or a career or anything. If I'm honest, I enjoyed the friendship and the community and the events. It was a great excuse to get out and you know, meet with other people. At the time, I lived in the middle of nowhere down in Cornwall, and I had no family, so it was a really lovely way for me to socialize. Now, the bit of money that I did make, because as soon as people around me, like my family and friends, started seeing, like, you know, look, I used to put the baby in the pram and I'd walk for miles, you know, so I had all this energy. I was really into my well-being. So people wanted to know what I was doing. And I had a little kind of gathering in my house, got a few orders. Everybody that ordered from me loved the products. I had a friend who wanted to fit into the wedding dress. She managed to do that. I had another lady that had quite bad skin, so she ordered the kind of berry capsules and she managed to sort of skin out. Also, I must mention that my son at the time, a lot younger than he is now, had a diagnosis. He's on neurodiverse. And for any of you that know, children with in any way on the spectrum can really struggle with how they eat. You know, they can it's quite difficult getting fruits and vegetables into them. And I don't know if you don't know, but I always love to share this fact that if children struggle with concentration or attention, protein first thing in the morning is a game changer, an absolute game changer. So he started having a shake because he was never hungry, especially with the medication he took, to have breakfast. And straight away, the school started seeing a difference in just giving him that protein in the morning. And then again, it was always just assurance for me that he was taking the soft chewables, which I got free with my capsules. So it was a no-brainer to get them. And even though, you know, we ate quite healthily, I lived in Cornwall, you know, I got my veg from the farm, I got my eggs from my neighbor, I got my fish from the fisherman, you know, so we had a good lifestyle in terms of food, but, you know, you can't ever get enough good in. And so I had that little bit of money coming through, obviously through the business. I wasn't really promoting it. Like I said, it was just friends and family or neighbors, should I say. And then what ended up happening was I got invited to come to some of the bigger events. So I got to travel a little bit. And one time I went to an event in Brighton and I heard a lady on stage talking about not settling. Now, I had been in a relationship for quite some time that was definitely not the happiest. And I was so moved by this lady on stage speaking about this, you know, what we call it personal development in the company. And people tell their inspiring stories, and it's not all about health or wealth. Sometimes it's about growth in your life and your confidence and your self-worth. And I went home from that event and I made a really huge decision that I needed to end that relationship because I was settling. I also realized I didn't really want to live where I was living anymore. I got really involved in the personal development side of things, and I really focused on that, in fact, and started looking at things like the law of attraction. And fast forward a few years later, I attracted a really healthy relationship into my life with a gorgeous man who I'm still with today. Now my life has changed dramatically. Fast forward 6 years, I live in Windsor and with my children and my partner. Now, a year ago, as you know, we all came out of that pandemic mayhem, lockdowns, hadn't been home as many people. I'm not crying into my tissue. I know we all went through it together. But as my experience of it was, my life changed very, very much. I didn't go to work in London anymore. I was at home with my kids. I know everybody went through the same thing. And I hadn't been home to see my family. All my family were classed as high risk. My granddad died during the lockdowns as well. So sort of never got to see him or say goodbye. I know lots of people went through a lot worse. But, you know, my experience was that when this time last year, when there was rumor that we could possibly go into another lockdown, something switched in my head. And I really felt like I was going into a dark room and I started having panic attacks. And it was almost like I was like, get me off this train, whatever this is, whichever direction this is going in, get me off it. Now, I had lost touch with the Juice Plus from those years, just from moving, from not being on social media, and from losing touch with the friends and things like that. Not for any bad reason, it was just the way that life went. And, you know, sometimes you take it for granted, don't you? I had all my dreams come true and I was living my best life, and I kind of forgot a little bit about what got me there. When I was in my sort of lowest point this time last year, I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that it came back into my life for a very good reason. I started taking the capsules immediately, And within 2 weeks, my energy had already lifted. I'd gone from barely being able to get out of the bed, even doing the dishwasher was like, just took all my energy and all my motivation just to empty the dishwasher. And so I wasn't well at all, you know, my mental health wasn't great. But 2 weeks into taking the capsules and being amongst these positive people, really encouraging me, being back in the groups, on the private groups on social media, looking after what I was putting into my body, then within, you know, a few months, I was just feeling really, really great. I got through Christmas and the new year. And then before I knew it, again, people around me were saying, you know, you look, this is incredible. I felt incredible. And I don't know if you guys know, but there's the links with mental health is brain, heart, and gut. Now, actually, we would think that when you have mental health, that it would start with your brain and it would travel down through your heart to your gut. But it's actually the other way around. So when you put good into your gut, the quality of the blood then that pumps around your heart, which then affects your nervous system and your hormone and your you know, your hormones and everything. And then there's more messages sent to your brain from your body than the other way down. So in actual fact, if you think somebody that can't even get out of bed, and well, the one thing that a doctor or a psychiatrist would say, you know, you need to eat a healthy diet, you need to do some exercise, and you need to get a good night's sleep. Well, I'm not being funny, but if you've ever been depressed or down or low and you've got no energy, the last thing you can do is go to the supermarket to buy a healthy food shop and then prepare it and then eat it. Let's face it, all we want to do is have easy convenience food, takeaways or rubbish. We put that rubbish into our gut. Then our blood is, you know, not doing what it needs to do. Our hormones are all over the place, all wonky wiring going on. And then obviously what we experience in our brains is, you know, low feeling, low mood and anxiety. So putting all of those nutrients into your gut, literally just by taking these capsules, drinking some water, you can imagine the effect that that's going to have within a couple of weeks to a couple of months. So look, I'm not saying it's a miracle cure. Of course, then from that, you get more energy. So what happens when you have more energy? You go to the supermarket, you do the healthy food shop, you go out for a walk, you get a bit of exercise, and before you know it, you know, you're feeling a lot better. And my mission really is quite simple. Financially, I'm going to be honest, I don't really have to do this. I do it because I feel like I owe it to my younger self. I feel like I owe it to that girl 8 years ago who just hadn't got a clue what direction her life was going to take. But I also owe it to who I was a year ago when I felt so hopeless and so scared, because I'm sure there's somebody out there like me that I can share this with. You know, of course, it's probably not going to be for everybody. But if I can help one other person like me, then like I was, what I went through, then that I feel like I'll be mission accomplished, you know?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tash. I'm going to have to quickly jump across because we were obviously a little bit tight for time, but thank you so much for that. If you could just mute yourself. Kathryn, if you can really quickly share a little bit of your story and why you love this business opportunity.
Sure, thank you very much. And by the way, if you hear snoring, it's my dog. It's not me. So she's like, why do you have to start snoring now? I don't know. But anyway, hi, I'm Kathryn, and I have been using Juice Plus now, should I say, taking Juice Plus now for nearly 4 years. I love the product. I can't explain how much I love the product because
Oh, sorry, Kathryn. Sorry, Kathryn. Yeah, I do apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. It's technology, right? So the products really transformed my life and my health. I was always getting unwell because I had pneumonia a few years earlier, and it really played havoc with my immune system. So I was always getting unwell. I was also starting to go into my perimenopause stage of life, and I was looking for something which was a natural option for me. And I came across Juice Plus, and I started taking it. And it's funny actually. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's like quite a lot of the benefits I didn't really feel immediately, but I realized a little bit later on that I was feeling a lot better, which I didn't realize at the time. And I just kind of like felt like I got my life back, and I got my mojo back, and I felt like my younger self again, which I really, really loved. And my children are on it, my husband are on it. And again, you know, it's really helped my kids. And I have the same thing with Natasha. I have a daughter who is on the spectrum. And so it's been really important for her to have these chewies, you know, because she is an incredibly fussy daughter. And, you know, as much as I love cooking and I try and present her with a variety of food, she doesn't take it. So this is basically, it makes my life easier because it's a lovely foundation for her to build on. And so, yeah, so at least I know that she's getting some good nutrition. So I, having loved the product, I actually went into the business to get the products cheaper. And then when I felt all the benefits I was feeling and I could see the benefits, and I started kind of getting involved more in the community, I just decided to actually share it more, because my friends were asking me anyway, you know, you're looking amazing. I lost some weight. Like I said, I got my mojo back. I was feeling more energized. I was sleeping better. I used to have these really weird things, like funny things in my hands, my feet, and that all disappeared as well. Like the hot flushes, you know, I get them very minimal now. I still get them on occasion, but hardly anything like they used to. So that kind of was really amazing, and my friends noticed it. So I started recommending it, obviously. And the part of the business that I wasn't expecting to help me with was my self-confidence, was my self-development. And that was, you know, if you said to me 4 years ago that I would be doing this, I would be speaking in front of nearly 100 people. Well, actually, no, it's exactly 100 people now. I'd be like going, yeah, whatever. I'd be like hiding behind the pillow. I'd be like, you know, forget it. But I am now. I'm happy to share my story, and I feel really, my confidence is, you know, has gone through the roof for it. And I love the fact that the business allows me to work around my family. I'm a mum of two. I've got a dog. I've got 2 cats. You know, in and out all through the day, you know, and so it's wonderful that I can work anywhere, whether it's in the car while I'm waiting for one child to pick her up from one activity, or I'm actually talking to somebody as I'm driving down to pick the other one up. You know, it's like, so it makes it so easy and so versatile. So if you're a busy mum, you can fit in 2 nooks and the crannies a day. Honestly, it is, you know, it's possible. It's, you know, please don't think it's not possible if you're a busy person. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kathryn. And I always say, if you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. And I know myself, if I don't have much to do, I do not get anything done. And if I've got a lot to do, I get it done. So I think that that's also very important to remember. So if you are very busy and you're looking at this opportunity, just know we've all got stuff going on and we make it work. So thank you so much, Kathryn.
Okay.
Now I'm just going to jump over to John Holowati. I think if he
Hey, how we doing?
Hey. So I think we're having camera issues. Is that right?
Yeah, for some reason my Zoom is not letting me access my camera, so I do apologize, but I don't actually look the best today anyway, so I've probably done you a favor.
I had to say, if you're in your pajamas, just say it.
So yeah, thanks for having me on. An amazing story so far. I got started in the business back in 2009. Just hearing there about people being busy, you know, this is a business designed for busy people. And at the time I was running boot camps, I was teaching at a college, doing my teacher training degree, and I was a personal trainer. So I was working around the clock. But the other issue that I had was, despite working so many hours, I didn't really have that much money coming in. So when somebody told me about the product, I needed it for myself because I was burnt out and continually getting run down. I don't know if you ever put your career before your health, if you've ever been in that place before, but that was definitely where I was at. I was putting everything into my career, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, working till 10 o'clock in the evenings, working weekends. And I got to a point where I was sleeping in my car in the afternoon, just grabbing 20 minutes here, an hour there in between client sessions and teaching classes and stuff. So when somebody told me about the products, I thought, yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm not eating enough fruit and vegetables just because of the timing issue, really, having to prep and to cook and all that kind of stuff. I certainly wasn't getting enough raw nutrition. The odd snack pot from the supermarket with, the ones I'm talking about, guys, where you get a random slice of kiwi, a couple of slices of melon, the odd grape. So that was about it for my fruit consumption. So the capsules were a no-brainer. It was something that I really believed in the scientific research as well, because my background is sports science. So first of all, it was like, I need this product. But then thinking about my clients, the majority of my clients don't eat enough fruit and vegetables. So that was an easy kind of transfer over to them. Hey, I'm using this product. It's making me feel good. It's strengthening my immune system. It'll do the same for you. So I really felt good about recommending a great product to my clients. Then I looked at the complete shakes. I was using a different brand of shakes at the time. As soon as I'd finished that one, I jumped over to Complete, and I've been using Complete every day ever since, pretty much. And again, just the simplicity of the plant-based nutrition, the convenience of the product, and again, just leaning into my client story. The majority of my clients struggled with breakfast. They either didn't have anything to eat until they got to work, or they would grab a blueberry muffin and a latte on the way to the office. It was something that was really messing up their nutrition. So I just thought, yeah, you guys need to use this product as well. So that was initially it. The thing that I love about the business is it doesn't take any extra time up, because the company do all the complicated stuff for you. They manufacture the product, they ship the product, they deliver the product. You get your own website, your own virtual office, and you literally operate your business from your mobile phone. So what started really as an initial goal to earn an extra £200 to £300 a month, I was probably earning that for the first couple of years. And we call it seeing the bigger picture. I got invited to a convention in Germany in 2011, and I saw 6,000 people at Dresden Convention Center. Some of the guys on the call were probably at that event. And it just blew my mind. I heard stories of people going full time with the business, buying holiday homes, retiring their husbands, buying a Porsche, and doing just loads of cool shit, really. And I thought, I want to be able to do this. This seems incredible. So I came back from that event with a much bigger vision for what this could be for me. And it was much more than £300 a month. So I went to work on it. I did a little bit more than what I was already doing. And that 300 a month turned into 600 a month. 600 a month turned into 900 a month. And, I'll ask you guys, what would you have to do in your current job to get an extra £900 a month on top of what you're already doing? Part-time, working from home, you can build the business anywhere. And it just seemed like common sense to me. And everybody that I spoke to, because I was so passionate about what I was doing and had a vision for where I was going, people just started to jump on board. Now, what you've got to remember is this was all face-to-face meetings. These were like hotel meetings and bar meetings. We didn't have Zoom back then. So we never had the facilities that we have now. There was no Instagram. There was no WhatsApp. So it's a lot easier now than it was back then. And the world is a lot more open-minded to this sort of thing. And back in 2013, it just started to grow its own life force, really. We went from a few team members to taking round about 400 people to Nice Convention in 2013. It was absolutely incredible. And people were winning. And that's the great thing about this opportunity, is everybody can win and everybody wants to see you win as well. There's not been one person that's ever said you can't achieve this or you won't do that. You're not good enough. No one's ever said that to me, whether they've been in my team or part of my team or just part of the company. Everybody's always said you can do this. And that's what I love about this business, is the community of like-minded people. So I just got really, really ambitious, really focused, hit national marketing director, and really made a decision that I wanted to make this my full-time career. By the end of 2013, I was making more money in a month than I made in a whole year as a personal trainer. And then by mid-2014, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do this full-time. And I've not looked back, really. I've been able to build an international business, been able to buy a couple of cool places in warmer countries than England, and yeah, just living the dream really. And I'm super excited about what we're going to do in 2023. I mean, the country in the UK is in absolute carnage right now. If you've been watching the news, you'll know what I mean. I mean, to be honest, it's always been a bit of a mess, but it's it's the worst it's ever been, to be honest. But we always do really well in a recession. We always do really well in an economic crisis. And there's so many people that are out there looking for an extra £100 a month, £200 a month. And that's where it starts. It starts with that little bit of extra income. And then as you go into this and you see a little bit more, it's almost like a series of exposures where you see other people that are being really successful and you think, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. So guys, what I'm saying to you is if I can do it, anybody on this call can do it. You just have to have a burning desire to want to change your life. You've got to be a nice person. I think this is a great business where nice people win. If you're a carer and a sharer and you like to see people prosper, then you'll do really, really well with this. And then the final thing, you've got to be hardworking. This isn't easy. This isn't a quick fix for anything. This is something that you have to put some time and energy into. But if you do that, the rewards are endless. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck. Congrats on an amazing event, and yeah, hopefully see you guys soon.
Amazing. Thanks so much, John. And next time we'll be able to see you live in action. So that was brilliant. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So now we're going to cross over to, we've got two more people to speak tonight. So we're going to cross firstly to Mel, who has been in the business a year. So she's just kind of in a way starting out. So I thought it'd be really interesting to chat quickly with Mel so that she can explain sort of how she has got started. She's hit a couple of really great promotions. She's made a couple of really good checks. And she qualified for the Majorca incentive. So Mel, can you see me? Could you come on off mute if you can see me? Because there's so many people on the call, I can't find you, which is not a bad thing, right?
I'm here. I'm off mute now. So hello everybody.
Hi, darling.
Okay.
Yes, if you could share with us how you got started strong and what you're finding is working for you as you undertake your Juice Plus business.
Okay, so hi, I'm Mel. I work full-time for a royalty company, a music company as a royalty manager, so pretty busy with my daughter and family as well. Originally, I got started on the products just to lose a bit of weight. Went all in with the products because I was going to sort of try and give the business a go as well. If I'm completely honest, at the time, I didn't really think all the products were going to do so much to me. I just thought I'm hopefully going to lose a bit of weight and feel a bit better. So within a couple of weeks, I was sleeping better, which was a massive bonus for me because I've always been a terrible sleeper. So to sort of get more than 3 or 4 hours a night was complete bliss. And then off the back of that, obviously, I had a lot more energy as well. So I was losing weight. I was just feeling really good and just sort of chatting to people about what I was doing, and started getting a bit of interest. People saying, oh, what's this you're doing? Can you get me some? I want to give it a try. A few people was just saying, I want to get exactly the same as what you've got. And at the time that was shakes, omegas, all the capsules and the uplift. So these people just all started buying all these products. I was like, wow. And all these people want all of this and they're all starting to feel really good. And off the back of that came some more recommendations. So it just went from there really. And I've just been sort of trying to tell more people about the business now, obviously, where we're in a situation where this cost of living crisis and everyone's sort of like struggling a bit for cash. So just trying to make people sort of see that you can earn some extra money through this, apart from all the other benefits as well of the products and obviously the events and all the team stuff and everything else that goes with it. I think at the moment, the money side and obviously people's health, they're two of the biggest things that we're sort of like worrying about really. So they're quite big focuses for me. And I'm sort of concentrating on trying to network with people that have got connections in some of the countries that we're going to be sort of selling products in the near future. Yeah, quite luckily, I've got a few friends that live locally that are all from some of these countries. So that's hopefully going to go well. And yeah, just did a first little event a few weeks ago which was really small, but off the back of that got a team member and a customer, and hopefully another lady who's going to join. So yeah, just keep chipping away, really, chatting to people and just telling them about the benefits of the products and that they can earn some extra money. And yeah, that's it really. So give it a go is what I'd say.
No, but see, I think that's brilliant, because I think sometimes we can always overcomplicate things. And I love when I hear from people when they say, like, I just put on a little event, got a few people together. You know, we can all do that. We can,
and it's good, really, yeah, because you can just chat as well, you know, to people properly. So yeah, it's nice. It was good.
I think that's fantastic, and thanks for reminding us, I think, of, you know, what we need to do. It's about having conversations, and it's about sharing. And as you said, everyone needs extra income at the moment. You know, costs it's just crazy. I paid $4.95 for a tub of butter today. So thank you very much, Mel.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to cross over to the gorgeous Claire Black. Claire is actually the reason why I'm here tonight, because Claire was the person that I met at that event that day, that fateful day, who I approached on social media because I was seeing her posts. And I reached out to Claire, as we all know from the beginning of the call, and said, what is it you're doing? So Claire, really, I have you to thank for bringing me into this amazing opportunity. So I would love you, please, to share a little bit about how being part of this has helped you, not just financially, but also with your mindset and living a life of abundance.
Yeah, thank you so much. Do you know what? I've got to say, what an amazing call this has been. I've sat in my car. I'm in my car, by the way, because my dog needs an Asbo. He does not stop barking when I got on a Zoom call for some reason. So I'm literally hiding in my car tonight. But it's been an amazing call. It's been so good to listen to so many of you guys saying how your self-development and your mindset has changed. And I think when we come into this business, I literally, first of all, I started on the products almost 9 years ago now. I just wanted to lose a little bit of weight. My life was actually falling apart. And I thought if I lost a little bit of weight, I'd feel better about myself, because I feel like that's what a lot of women do. Little did I know just how much my life would change. Those products still continue to transform my health, but my mental health more than anything. And it was really nice to hear those stories today. I really resonated with quite a lot of those stories. I joined the business after 3 weeks because I was telling everyone naturally anyway, like people were noticing a massive difference in me. They're like, what are you doing? And I kept passing them over to Sinead. And she was like, you know, you're doing what I do, but you're not getting paid for it. And, you know, life was really tough 9 years ago for us. And obviously the cost of living going up now. I know a lot of people will be able to relate to this story, but I literally had no time freedom. I was so sick of going to work and missing my child. I had one little boy at the time who was 7. I went back to work when he was 5 months old. So I had a long spate of childminders, friends and family picking him up because I couldn't afford a full week of childcare. This business transformed the way I showed up as a parent and what I was allowed to, how I was allowed to parent, really. When I joined the business, I had just this initial goal of earning an extra £200. I could drop my childminder, do a school run. And literally within 3 months, I was able to reduce my hours drastically and leave my job kind of 8 or 9 months after that. And, you know, Juice Plus allowed me to be the parent that Dan needed. It allowed me to make up those moments that I missed with him for the first 7 years of his life. I've actually had another 2 children since. My youngest is just 7 months, hence the eye bags. And I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards tonight. But Juice Plus has allowed me to just be the mum I never knew I wanted to be. I always thought I had to go to work and miss time with the children, or I could stay at home, but I'd sacrifice the income. And actually it's given me both. But so initially when I did join, it was a financial, well, first of all, I wanted to lose a little bit of weight. Then I saw that I could make some money. And those were the 2 things. But what I didn't understand would happen with it is the self-development. Oh my God. So 9 years ago, my idea of self-development would be reading Heat magazine on my lunch break. Like that was as deep as I got. Then I found Juice Plus and I just fell in love with growing who I was. Like seriously, I know a couple of the girls said it, to get on a call like this and to speak at an event or to just dream again and to be able to inspire people to dream again. And like, you know, when I met you, Erin, I'm like, come on, we can do this. Like, I could kind of help you with your self-development. I would never have been able to do that without this business. And I think when you surround yourself with people who do more, who want more, who are more, it just rubs off on you. There's that really famous quote, isn't there? You know, you become the 5 people you hang around with the most. Well, you know, 9 years ago, I was definitely one of the uninspired, bitchy, moody, broke people. I was that 5th person, and my life drastically changed when I found this business. And, you know, if you're watching this from the outside and you've not yet tried the products, or you've not yet joined the business, I genuinely believe we've got the solution to 2 of the world's biggest problems right now. People need to get healthy. People need a plan B. And when you join a community like ours, yes, you get to solve those problems, but you also get to open up this whole world of leveling up, really. Like, it's just mad when I look at who I was 9 years ago to who I am now. And actually, it's so lovely because obviously some of the girls on the call are from my team as well. Seeing people's confidence grow, like for me, I feel like a proud mum tonight watching you guys on there. It's amazing. It's an amazing community. And, you know, mindset, just changing my mindset through the business has actually rippled through my whole life, like the way I parent and my marriage, the way I am as a friend. Everything changed when I started to develop in my mindset. So there are so many things outside of just losing a bit of weight or changing your skin or, you know, earning an extra income. You can gain so much more from that. And, you know, I'm forever grateful for that. So, yeah, I hope that's answered your question.
Absolutely, it has. Thank you so much. So much. And I truly believe that what is meant for us comes to us, and that, you know, every path leads us to where we're meant to be. So I think we were all meant to be on this call tonight. And I'm really excited for everyone that has managed to get on the call. I hope you've all had value from it. I know I have. You know, 5 years on, I get so excited when I listen to everyone, because I think we're all from different walks of life, but we've all found a common purpose because of Juice Plus. So if you are new to this, I really do hope that you reach out to whoever invited you on this call and said, you know what, why not? And just get started. And we're all here to support you. We're all here to cheer you on. I hope that we see you at a live event very, very soon. If you're in the company already, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you've had value from this call. And let's just go and smash the final 10 weeks of 2022. It's unbelievable that we're at the final 10 weeks. So thank you so much, James, for doing this with me. Thank you to all our amazing speakers, and I hope to see you all soon. Lots of love and blessings.